The moving truck had barely rolled into the driveway when I felt her eyes on me. You know that feeling, the weight of someone's stare pressing on your back like a physical force. I turned, and there she was. A tall, thin woman with perfectly ironed khaki capris, arms crossed so tightly you'd think her blood circulation had given up years ago. Her lips were pursed, her eyes narrow, and her expression already screaming, "You don't belong here." That was my first encounter with Karen. The irony, I did belong here. In fact, I had specifically bought this house because it wasn't part of the neighboring HOA nightmare I'd heard horror stories about. This little cul-de-sac had 3 homes carved just outside the official HOA boundary. A loophole, really. My property deed was crystal clear, no HOA fees, no board breathing down my neck, no Karen lording over my front yard. At least, that's what I thought. But Karen, she didn't see it that way. The very first words she said to me weren't, "Welcome to the neighborhood," or even, "Hi, I'm Karen." No, she marched right across the street, heels clicking against the pavement, and snapped. "You can't park that truck here. This is an HOA community." I blinked. Actually, no. My property isn't part of the HOA. Her face twitched like she had bitten into a lemon. "What do you mean it's not? All these houses are governed by the association. You can't just waltz in and do whatever you want." I pulled the deed from my folder. Yes, I kept it handy in the car for the move, and showed her. "See, my property is outside your HOA. I double-checked before I bought. Triple-checked, actually." Karen's eyes darted across the paper like she was trying to find a loophole to chew me alive with. Finally, she snapped it shut and shoved it back at me. "This is a mistake. I'll be speaking to the board immediately. You're not going to ruin our neighborhood with your nonsense." And with that, she stormed off. I should have taken it as a warning. But I was tired, sweaty, and focused on moving boxes. Surely, I thought, she'd get over it once she realized there was nothing she could do. I was so wrong. That night, as I unpacked my kitchen, headlights flashed through my windows. I peeked outside and saw Karen standing in my driveway, phone in hand, snapping photos of my trash cans, my car, even my welcome mat. I opened the door. "Can I help you?" She jumped like she'd been caught stealing, then barked, documenting violations. "Your trash cans aren't supposed to be visible from the street. And that car, no overnight parking in driveways." I laughed, thinking she had to be joking. "Karen, again, I'm not part of your HOA. You can't enforce your rules on me." Her nostrils flared. "We'll see about that." Over the next week, it escalated. Karen would stand across the street, arms crossed, just glaring at me while I unloaded groceries. She left printouts of HOA guidelines taped to my mailbox. She even called the cops one morning, claiming my dog was illegal because the HOA banned certain breeds. The officer checked my paperwork, sighed, and told me, "You're fine." She's wasting everyone's time. But Karen didn't stop. She rallied her little group of HOA loyalists. They started a WhatsApp group dedicated to monitoring the outsider. Kids stopped riding their bikes past my house because their parents didn't want them near the troublemaker. My lawn service guy quit after Karen cornered him and screamed that working on my property was helping a rule breaker. It was exhausting. And then came the breaking point. 2 months after moving in, I woke up to find my mailbox knocked over, spray painted in red with the word, "Out." My front yard was littered with toilet paper. And Karen, she was across the street on her porch, sipping coffee, smirking. That was it. I decided if she wanted war, she was going to get it, but on my terms. First, I went back through every document, every map, every survey of my property. I spoke with the county office, confirmed the boundary lines, and got certified copies that clearly proved I was outside the HOA. Ironclad. Next, I started documenting her. Every photo she took of me, I took one of her. Every time she stepped onto my property to tape a notice, I recorded it. I caught her on video harassing delivery drivers, screaming at kids who cut across my lawn, and trespassing in broad daylight to measure my fence. Then came my secret weapon. I filed a harassment complaint with the county. With the evidence I had, they warned her once. When she kept at it, they slapped her with a fine. Then another. But the real twist came when I discovered the HOA's dirty little secret. A neighbor, one of the quieter, friendlier types, confided in me that Karen wasn't just a resident. She was the HOA president. And she had been dipping into HOA funds for years to fund her little projects. New pool furniture, Bought from her cousin's company at triple the cost. Landscaping budget, half of it went missing every spring. I hired a local attorney and anonymously mailed a packet of evidence, receipts, contracts, and my videos of Karen's harassment, straight to the HOA board. Not just the board, actually. I sent copies to every homeowner in the association. It was nuclear. The fallout was swift and glorious. At the next HOA meeting, homeowners demanded answers. Karen tried to deflect, tried to scream about me being the real problem, but when the receipts came out, literally projected on a screen, her empire crumbled. The board voted her out on the spot. An audit was launched. The county got involved. And Karen, she suddenly had bigger problems than me. But the best part, a week later, she put her house up for sale. The for sale sign went up quietly, like she hoped no one would notice. I noticed. So did the whole neighborhood. The day she moved out, I sat on my porch with a cold drink in hand, watching her pack her life into a moving truck. For once, she avoided eye contact. For once, she looked small, defeated, and when the truck finally pulled away, the street felt lighter. Free, peaceful. I had moved here for a fresh start, not a war. But in the end, I hadn't just defended my home, I'd freed an entire neighborhood from its tyrant. And the best part, I didn't have to lift a finger to make her leave. All I did was shine a light on who she really was. Karen had wanted me gone. Instead, she was the one who lost everything.